Oh yeah, black sun in the hizzle, all for shizzle dizzle. We got an excellent show here today. Uh, First, I want to make some announcements. Zanzi, something came up for tomorrow. If you'd like to join us on this show, we got the. Let me put the link in. We definitely got the link. Something's came up. Um, they actually got me on call, so I didn't want to make a schedule while I was on call. So I do want to. Why is this looking fuzzy? Focus. Damn. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I want to reschedule that. Uh Shout out to you, Zanzi. Shout out to Nyame. Um I didn't confirm that with Nyame. I didn't confirm. I was just hoping he'd show up. Oh shit. Oh, I think my damn connection is acting up. That's why it's looking fuzzy. And then the little eyeball thing went on. Give me 1 second. Give me one second. Okay, there we go. We're back. Okay. Yeah, having a little technical difficulties there. Internet this week has been on and off. Oh shit, there we go again. Hold on, y'all. Let me hold on. Hold on. Damn. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to turn everything completely off. Let me add Zenzi. Hey Zenzi, what's going on? What's going on?
What's up?
Nothing much, man. Got something coming up tomorrow, so we got to reschedule. But I'm glad you're here today. Um, I had to turn everything off in my damn house because little eyeball thing was acting up there. Okay, so yeah, we were gonna talk about waiting on let me text her because sometimes she don't be paying attention to the email. So let me let Nature Mom know we are live. She might have forgotten. We are live. Okay. All right, so she'll be here in a minute. What's going on, Leslie? What's going on?
Oh, you sound like a robot a little bit here, then.
Yeah, my connection is really bad. Yeah. It works good for the PlayStation, but when I get on here with this, then it start acting up. Damn.
Yeah,
How's it?
internet
Is it?
is a
Yeah.
mystery sometimes.
Man, is it though? And it's funny because a friend of mine has had a show going for a while, and the minute he started talking about Ukraine and Russia, his internet just starts bugging out. And I'm like, wow. And he said he has like the top notch internet. Shout out to Jimmy Dore. So yeah, because they started talking about how the oil tanker got bombed, and they're like, "Oh, Russia bombed the oil tanker," and then he was like, "Why would Russia bomb their own oil tanker? If they don't want oil getting to Europe, they would just cut off the spigot, just cut it off. And ain't got to bomb these shit to the bottom of the sea, no." So
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same way that the U.S. Bombed their own ships to justify the Vietnam War, all the
mhm,
false flag operation that the CIA did, right? So
absolutely,
it,
absolutely.
it it's ready support. So there's, you know, it could well be that the Nord Stream 1 pipeline has been sabotaged by the Russians themselves, right? So, oh, we don't want to be seen as cutting the supply because that would make us look bad. So let's poke holes in it and say that Ukrainians did it, right? It achieves the same thing in the end, right? So,
And that's a good point. So why don't we just use some satellite footage and see who really did it?
because satellite footage won't allow you to see that; it's underwater.
So okay, so it got bombed, right?
I don't know what happened. It might have been drilled into. It might have been. What happened exactly is unclear. I'm just saying that a satellite won't allow you to see that because it, it was on the ocean floor.
Okay, okay, okay. Welcome, welcome, Sister Noble. Welcome, Sister Noble. We'll do that. We'll do that. Why don't you come on? Or do you want to? Well, you know what? I want to have Sister Noble on Monday, so I'm gonna do a whole show with Sister Noble. Um, ah, so Zanzi, um, so you mean to tell me there are no like cameras anywhere? I mean, you got a oil pipeline. Surely you're gonna have some type of cameras recording something or something. Somebody's gonna see something. We're living in an age of
I
cameras
don't
are
think that
everywhere.
having an underwater camera system is
Not
such an easy
underwater.
task.
Okay, okay, okay. Not necessarily underwater camera, but maybe I mean, when you're dealing with pipelines, you got terrorists, you got people who want to take it over, you got us. So I'm imagining there would be some security measures that can show. Okay,
Absolutely, but again, that whatever is in place, it's managed by the Russians.
okay, okay,
It's their
okay.
pipelines, so they can do whatever fuck they want with it, right?
Right, right. Okay. Hold on
It's
one
like
second.
saying my store got robbed, and I mean, I got the insurance money, but weirdly, all the cameras stopped working at that time. But I'm not responsible. It wasn't for the insurance money that I did it, right?
Right, right, right. I mean, I can hear both arguments. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm just
I
saying
mean,
that it doesn't make sense to say that they did it. That's not true. I mean, there's historical precedent for that kind of thing. So
I see. Well, yeah, yeah, on both sides, right? Both U.S. and Russia. Are you saying?
any intelligence agency around the world does that kind of shit. You know, it's the way international business is done. It's the way wars are launched because people don't want wars. People don't want to go to war, right? So you
Right.
have to justify them in some ways.
Okay. Okay. Hold on one second, Zenzi. Sister Noble says she'll be at work Wednesday. I mean, Monday. Does Wednesday work for you, Noble? Does Wednesday work for you? Because Tuesday we got Champions Corner, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So let me know something. Let me know. Let me know. Or if you want to come on today, that's fine too. You know what? Let me drop a link. Let me drop a link. Okay. Because I wanted to set aside a show just for her. Just for her, but I think Nature Mom is knocked out. Yeah, I think she is sleep. Let me call her real quick. Because I know it's what 10 o'clock over there. Yeah, but well, since you're here, Zanzi, we can talk about oh now my phone's not working. What the hell? Oh, it's because it's connected to this internet. Oh, this silly phone. Okay, let's give her. Let me just text her again because this is weird. Okay, now she's wake up. Okay, she's woke. Okay, y'all. That's me, Nick, Mom. That's me.
There we
That's
go.
me.
That's
Hey,
you.
yes,
Okay.
that's me.
Hey,
That was me.
sorry
Yeah,
for the delay.
yeah.
Today has not been a good day for bandwidth. Sorry. It's been
I'm having,
tough.
I'm having the same problem. Yeah,
Strange. Okay.
I'm having the
Yeah.
same exact
Like
problem.
I
I
just
turned.
can't
Yeah,
connect to US today.
right, right. And I turned off everything in the house.
Me too. And I closed
Everything.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I mean, maybe it's the time of the year because what I hear in rumors is that there are like a lot of tests going on, a lot of bandwidth tests. Uh so someone is saying, Sister Noble, yeah, that it needs to tell Nature Mom about the fake profile counts. So I'm not sure, but I know that there's been a lot of tests going on here. So
Right.
they've been doing like busing tests, they've been doing bandwidth tests. They're really trying to get the country ready for FIFA. So
Oh, okay.
it's been pretty disruptive. Yeah, it's not been
Okay.
easy. Hi,
Well,
Zanzi, how are you?
I'm very good in yourself.
Great to hear from you. Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. Yeah. So I'm sorry, you guys, that rule breaker couldn't join us tonight. She had a lot going on this week, so
Okay.
she'll hopefully join us some other time. But
Okay.
really excited to bring to all of you guys this conversation about prison reform. Uh, if I'm right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is a really important conversation. Zanzi, I've been doing a lot of research about the Canadian system because, a lot of our textbooks, a lot of information comes from of course, a North American perspective, but particularly a U.S. North American perspective. And a lot of my research lately has been looking at Canadian system versus U.S. system. And I'm very curious about I know that the statistics in Canada are very similar to U.S. as far as not necessarily we'll say Black people as a blanketed group, but just more as the indigenous or Aborigines really make up a disproportionate part of the population.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, that's her connection.
it's interesting that football is such a big thing back there and
It is.
most of the world that they have to stress test the network infrastructure of the country to make sure it's ready for the. Huh. But yeah, well, oh,
Oh,
that's choppy. Eh?
yeah, it's real choppy. Goodness. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're
Has
H mom. Uh-oh. Nature Mom, your connection is really bad. Damn. Yeah, it's really bad.
If you're over Wi-Fi, try maybe you connect to a wired connection to your router. But
Yeah, let me when she come, yeah, I'm gonna definitely because I told her about that before. I
yeah,
hope.
we discussed this last time. But
Yeah. I Oh yeah, that's bad. Damn. We might have to Nature Mom, we might have to reschedule because this damn. I thought my internet was bad. Your internet is whoa.
we hear that you're trying to say something right now, but it really sounds like so we can't really make out anything.
That's really bad. Damn. Hey, y'all, I want to apologize. Nature Mom, if you can hear me, yeah, I think this might be. Damn, I've never seen it this bad before. I've seen it bad. Even on my end, it's been bad, but damn. Jeez. Sorry, guys. Okay, she just texted me. Okay. It's not your fault, Nature Mom. We know they're doing the FIFA thing, so there's going to be a lot of disruptions. Uh-oh. And my internet is acting up too. God damn. Zanzi, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. These tests are making it terrible. Okay, Nature Mom, what we'll do, get your rest. We'll reschedule because yeah, it's real choppy. It's really, really choppy. Yeah, okay. I apologize, Nature Mom. I'm so sorry. No. I apologize. No. You ain't gotta. That's like I said. They're doing the test and all that. We will reschedule and we'll continue this conversation. So, dang, Zanzi. So, well, since I got to do, well, damn. I know this thing. Oh man, this is okay. So, my internet's acting up.
I can hear you, and the video is fine. Everything seems to be fine. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
why,
I'm
why are you
okay. Okay.
saying that?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because there's this like little eye thing, and then the thing starts doing some weird stuff every time it connects. So I try to keep my eye on that. Okay, Zenzi, as long let me know if I start breaking up.
Yeah,
Damn. Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. And I'll do the same for you. Damn. So Damn. Okay. So where we? Oh
Well,
man.
I'm not sure exactly. I know that she was saying that the statistics in the prison system in Canada were relatively the same that they were in the United States, but maybe more biased toward indigenous people rather than well, I'd say that yes, indigenous people are a big part of the population overrepresented in the prison system in Canada, but black people, pretty much every non-white people are also overrepresented in the prison system, right?
Right. Right. That's true.
Here,
That's true.
uh, I do know it's. I'm not an expert on prisons. I've never been. I've been in child re-education centers when I was
Hmm.
younger, so prison for children, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went through that, but I've never been into adult prison, as you would call it, right? Is that Nature Mom calling you on a different? No.
Oh, say it again. I'm sorry.
Oh, because I heard the messenger video, so I was wondering if it was Nature Mom trying to reach
Yeah.
you,
That's
or
yeah. That's
yeah.
her. Lisa, I'll call you back. I'll call you back. Okay. All right. Yeah. No problem. No problem. You good. You good. Okay. So yeah, that was her. Okay. So okay, I'm sorry about that, Zane. You're talking about the child.
I don't know. That's my experience, right? I don't have much experience personally. I don't have any experience personally with adult prison, and I
Okay.
do know some people that went into adult
Oh
prison,
shoot.
if you will. And
Yeah.
there's this stereotype that prisons in Canada are much more easygoing that they would be in the United States, right?
Okay.
That it's more of a free ride, almost like a resort compared to what's
Hmm.
done in the United States. That's not right. The people I know who went to prison. Their recounting of the experience wasn't that it was a pleasant experience, right? I
Right.
don't know any people who's been in prison both in the United States and in Canada, so that could directly compare both. I do know that I don't think that the same way um, prisons in the United States have inmates work for. So yeah, I know that Rule Breakers said that she was paid something like 30 cents an hour for the work she was doing, right? If I recall right. Before her saying that, I was under the impression that in the United States, prisoners weren't at all paid for the work that they were doing, right? So but that's not the case, from what I understand. Oh, Black Sun, I lost the image now. So if you're talking, I don't hear you right now. So maybe your internet too is getting problematic now. Okay. Um, people in the chat,
Okay.
can you guys still hear me at least?
Yeah. 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 My bad. My
Oh,
bad.
okay.
My bad. My bad. We got Sister Noble joining us. Hey, Noble, how you doing?
I'm okay. I just came up here to say a few things. Hi, hello, I'm Zanzi. How you doing? I don't know you, but I'm just, I hear
Uh,
you.
I'm
I'm
very good.
listening to you. But I just really came up here to say a few things. But really, honestly, I came up here to say something to Black Sun. So excuse me, okay?
Well,
I
that's
just,
all right.
I just want Black Sun to know. I want everybody to know what the judge actually said when he made the verdict. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole entire letter. Okay, um, the letter
What
said no,
judge are you talking about? What
concerning the
verdict?
court case. Yeah, concerning the court case that Black
What?
Sun went up on a platform, spoke on, but did not know the verdict that the judge rendered on July 5th,
I have no
2022.
idea what she's talking about.
I
Can I
know
have
you
a
don't.
bit of a
I know you don't,
context?
Zanzi.
Or
I know, Zanzi. That's why I said I came up here to say something
oh,
to
okay.
everybody. Okay, not just you, but everybody.
Absolutely. I mean,
Everybody.
I just like to have maybe a little bit
I
of
understand.
context just so I can
I
understand.
understand.
If you
Yeah.
don't want to, that's fine.
So
I'll just listen then.
what happened was Black Sun went on a panel to discuss the court case that me and this other individual had going on
Okay, you're in a court case
for
with someone.
defamation. Yeah, for defamation.
Okay.
But he
Cool.
did not know the verdict when he went on the panel to talk about the court case. He did not know the verdict that the judge rendered at that time.
Hmm.
Which, if you're going to speak on something, at least have all the facts. You know. That's
Right.
all I'm saying. Just at least have all the facts. And
Right.
I just want to say that the court finds counter plaintiff met her burden of proof on her claim of defamation and her counterclaim. The court finds that the damages offset. See, I was wrongfully sued for defamation, okay? And the court finds that I, as the counter plaintiff, met my burden of proof on my claim of defamation, as well as this other person. So that means, well, the court finds that the damages offset. Okay, so people claiming that they was defamed and and they was done wrong. I was done wrong. I was defamed also. Okay, I was defamed also. And the court finds that the damage is offset. So when people cry victim, they come on social media crying victim, at least have all the facts, at least present what actually happened, as opposed to your version. I mean, because the court finds that the damage is offset. That was the verdict that the judge rendered on July 5th. So I just find it really strange that somebody would speak on a court case but did not know the verdict that was rendered on July 5th. But you got the nerve to talk about me. I mean, but at least address me. If you're gonna go on a panel, on a platform, and talk about me, at least give me the opportunity to
Oh,
come up
yeah.
on the panel or the platform, wherever you go, and we can both talk to
I
each
agree.
other like adults. At least give me that opportunity.
Always.
So I just wanted to put that out there. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Well, before you go, Noble, before you go,
Okay.
could I speak on it?
Yes.
Okay, well, you're right. I didn't know all the facts, so I apologize about that. And you're right. You can come on the panel anytime because we are adults,
Yeah.
And like I said before, and I told Angel this, you were there when all that bullshit, you know what I'm talking about, and you and
Yeah.
Aaliyah came forth and squashed all that. So
Yeah.
one thing I do want to address to you, Sister Noble, you said, why did I invoke your name? Why did I contact you, this and that? And I was like, Sister Noble, when I say that you guys did what y'all did, I'm being genuine. I'm not trying to be underhanded. I'm not trying to be have no hidden agenda. It is what it is. You
Yeah.
stood up. You stood up when me and you weren't even talking. So
Yeah.
what hidden agenda was? So there was no hidden agenda on your end. There was no hidden agenda on my end. But I just wanted you to see that as a woman that there was no hidden agenda on my end. So now,
Okay.
yeah, now I did go on the show, and but I don't know if you want to discuss that. You were mad at me, and I was mad at you.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
we go
That's
back and forth. We do things, we don't, and we say things because you might be mad, you'll be mad at me, and I'll be mad at you, and
Yeah.
out of retaliation. But that doesn't take away the fact that you, Alberta, went on a YouTube tour saying that little imp that lied on me, that wasn't true because they tried to paint a picture because you had took a break and because the people were like, oh, Alberta's not here, we'll just throw her name in it
Yeah.
and we'll
And this
slant.
was all happening back in March. This
We
was all
will
happening
do
back in
right.
March.
We will do a double slander. We will slander Black Sun and Sister Noble. We'll use Sister Noble to just double down on this narrative.
So all that has
Anything.
to do with the imp thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I got so many questions.
okay. Noble, I know you came on for a quick minute. Do you mind while Zanzi is here and while we're answering, do you mind assisting me with some of this because we are both parties? Because I don't know how your schedule is. I don't know if you're working. I don't know if you're at work, but
And I'm not at work yet, but I'm about to go to work.
oh, okay. Well, I don't want to make you late, but
No, I'm not late.
okay. Well,
I'm about
Zanzi
to go
got a
to work,
couple
though.
of
I'm about to
questions.
walk out the door, though.
He has a couple of questions. Do you mind assisting? So I'll make sure that my facts are in order because I know you'll make sure that I just But what other
Yeah,
questions, Zanzi? I mean,
I
Well,
gotta
the
go back
question,
there.
I guess the first question
okay.
I
I'm
have
sorry.
about this whole thing is right. I'll put in context what I know, so what
Mhm.
I see, and then you'll be able maybe to fill in what. So all I know is that one day Black Sun went on a rant stream about a imp person that I assume is a female person trying to
Mhm.
put spells on him, and that those spells don't work because he's a warlock. So that's a whole other subject about magical stuff and Black Sun the atheist, but there's so who's that person? What did she do? And why are you in a defamation lawsuit with that person? That seems all very dramatic.
Okay, I think then Sister Nova, you still there? Because I want to make sure I don't say anything out of context while she's here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm still here, but I didn't come up here to speak on that. I came up
okay,
here.
that's fine. That's fine.
Okay,
That's
if you
fine.
don't know, I'm curious, but
I
if you
came
don't
up here
want
to
to,
address the
and
verdict
since
that
you're in a
was rendered.
lawsuit, I guess it's also touchy to speak about it, right? So,
Right. Um. Yeah, Zanzi. Yeah. I mean, it's basically so. The lawsuit that Noble's talking about is actually with a whole different person, but the person
oh,
that
it's
I'm
not with the same
addressing,
person.
no, no, no,
Okay,
no, it's not the same
okay.
person. No, 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 no. This person here, the one that's talking about casting spells and all that, I addressed on two separate shows, and so apparently, uh, I was waiting for this person because first of all, this person was a self-proclaimed gangster and a self-proclaimed Black Panther and a self-proclaimed lawyer, and then finally became a self-proclaimed um, a root worker, or a spell or a sorceress or witch, whatever you want to call it. And so I wanted to make sure I addressed all avenues. And that's what I did on the video. And when she finally, and I was waiting for her to, because she would always talk about people who she casts spells on and she has an altar. I was just waiting for her to say my name on that so I could just address all of that and don't leave nothing undone. And that's what I did. So when she finally, when I got word that I'm going to put a spell on Black Sun, I said, oh, that's my cue. And then I addressed it. So yeah, it is what it is. So yeah.
All right,
But
it's just it's all drama that
pretty
is most
much.
certainly not taking place on the two channels I know that you're on, which is here in SVDL. So it
Mhm.
was like, okay, so apparently he's pissed off at someone, and I remember hearing about uh, lawsuits and Sister Noble through all that. And now once
Right.
she started talking about that, I thought maybe that the person that was putting spell on you was the same person who was in the lawsuit with Sister Noble, and I was kind of troubled at the idea that there was a lawsuit happy sorcerer on the loose and
Right. Well, it's funny because the same person that allegedly put a spell on me was actually talking about taking me to court and Sister Noble. Now she
oh,
talking
I
about going to
see.
court, this and that. So Sister Noble actually put a lawsuit on her. And so that's how that started. And so yeah.
Oh, so there's
So yeah,
suits
so I
all
just
over the
yeah.
place.
I mean, you know.
So,
So
but well,
yeah.
I might be. I have a question though.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations, Mr. Rumble, because what you said about you having met your burden of proof seems like sounds like a positive thing. So, if it is, congratulations. Um, what I'm wondering though is right. So you most
Thank you.
no problem. So you most likely had to pay for legal fees. So
Oh no,
since
I didn't.
they
I didn't have to pay a dime.
no, so
Not
is that
one cent.
is she now the person that sued you wrongly responsible for paying those fees for you or
No.
no?
Mm-mm. No, I think he might have did a waiver of court costs. He did an
Oh,
application probably for a waiver of court costs. That's what I did. I did an application for waiver of court costs. So
oh,
that means
okay.
I didn't have to pay anything,
Oh,
not
that's
one
great
cent.
too.
And
Right.
there's one element I left out of this, Zanzi. The person putting the spell put the battery in the back of the person to go after Noble. So and that was significant also. So I forgot to mention that part.
The
So
battery in the backpack.
the battery, when I say battery in the back, it's a slang term for I'm gonna push you.
Oh,
Like when they say put a battery back, like say for instance you
the metaphorical battery.
yeah, it's metaphorical battery,
Yeah.
meaning I'm gonna I guess it's a term too. I'm gonna put the battery. So basically, the person put the battery in the other person's back to go after Sister Noble with a
It
Yeah.
lawsuit.
means to influence. It means to
Yeah,
influence or sway
It
someone.
motivated
That's what it
you in
means.
your
Yeah. It means to influence or sway someone. That's what it means.
made you resolute in your goal.
yeah.
All right. All right. So, but that's the thing, right? It seems to be much easier in the United States to see people than it is in Canada.
I mean, I would think it was probably the same. I mean, well, I think it's more. Well, I don't want to. I guess it's more prevalent here because maybe there's more people and there's more just about because of our economical structure, Zanzi. I would say that. I think there's people suing, and like I said, in Canada and England also, but because we have an extra incentive because of our economy, like y'all, Canada and England has socialized medicine per se. We have it, but we still got to pay a big chunk. So people are more motivated to take each other to court and try to sue and whatnot. So
Well,
that's
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't even know that there is a process really to properly sue someone for pretty much anything. Like you can in the United States, right? I mean the woman the famous trial where the woman sued McDonald's for too hot of a coffee, right?
I remember that.
From what I understand, the way that the coffee is in the McDonald's, the coffee really was too hot, right? But
Right.
those kind of things that well, maybe it was too hot, but she dropped it on herself in the
Right.
end, right? Here in Canada, she could never have sued for that, you know. So
Right, right. And actually, in certain states, see, each state is different. And even though it was here in the United States, you got to consider each state still has their own sovereign laws too. So what might fly in California may not necessarily fly in Georgia. What flies in New York may not necessarily fly in Florida. So you still have to consider each state and their jurisdictions. So, you might can get away with suing McDonald's for coffee spilling on your lap in New Jersey, but may not be able to get away with it in Texas.
yeah. And to
So,
be fair, I think that's more the urban legend. I think the real story is that she burned herself by taking a sip of it. In that
right.
context, yes, McDonald, I guess, could be liable, right? But
I mean, yeah,
so
there's so many factors. I mean, number one, was she driving a car?
I, I don't know. I just
Okay, because
remember
that's something to
hearing or reading
consider.
somewhere that
Right.
the real thing wasn't that she spilled it. It's just she tried to drink it and it burned her to the third
Right, right,
degree,
right, and I can
second degree or
understand.
something. But
Right, and I can understand that it being so hot to where. So yeah, there like you said, it just has to take place in a courtroom because there's so many factors. Like the defense attorney can ask, like was she driving? Was this and that and the other? And was she doing this? Was she doing that? So, but at the end of the day, you're right. The prosecutor can say, look, that coffee was just way too hot, but what is too hot and what is not too hot because I know coffee that I've drank they've always been hot, so I don't know, it's just damn, but it could have been too hot, so I don't know, but I try not to spill coffee on myself, and I'll try to let it cool down. This is what I try to do, but hey, everybody tries to do different things. So, yeah, like you said, like I said, courtrooms here in the United States, each state is different, and some are more ridiculous than others. Let me tell you, because I've lived and I hate to really get on the politics, but I've lived in the blue state and I've lived in the red state, and let me tell you, blue state laws because most of those states have a lawyer employment rate with the people. They're a little bit more off the chain than the red state laws you know. So, and I've been in courts in both of those systems, and let me tell you, yeah, it's night and day in comparison. So, you know, but that's a whole nother topic, Zanzi. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure I know Sister Nova, she had time. She could speak on some things about red and blue states too. But yeah,
well,
that's
I'm reading a legal article right now on the differences between suing in the United States and The differences are complex, but
Okay.
there are definite differences. Like, for example, say in Canada, only one corporate representative may be examined,
Okay.
whereas a corporation is a named party. While in the United States, well, Canada deposition. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not versed enough in the legal lingo to know exactly all what those terms means, but there
Right.
seems to be definite differences that might explain why. But whatever. It's I mean, all the people that I know that have sued people or have been sued live in the United States, right? And I know
Right.
much
Right.
less people in the United States than I know people in Canada. And I know
Okay.
people nobody in Canada who's been sued who sued someone. So that's why it has to be more common, right? So
Okay. Okay. Oh
even
man.
per capita.
Right. 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 Um. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Zanzi, because had oh, Sister Nova, you got a question?
I'm gonna drop down. So I just came up there to say that. And
Okay.
y'all have a good day.
Have a good day.
All right. Be safe, Nova. Okay. So, um, I was going to ask you, before Sister No dropped off, how common is it for a person to try to sue the government or the city or the state or whatnot?
Um, I guess that happens more often than trying to sue directly other people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
Oh,
doesn't work.
wow.
It doesn't work very
Oh,
well.
it doesn't
But
work. Oh, okay, okay. Kind of like our system. Okay, got you. And yeah, because the government knows how to gridlock the system very well because that's their system. So yeah.
but since they're in charge of so many things, they're getting shot at. Let's say more than
Whoa.
particular, not literally shot at, but I mean
Oh,
they
oh,
receive
oh.
more suits, right?
Jabs.
They
Okay, yeah.
right.
Okay. Well,
No,
damn.
no, there's not enough guns in Canada for people to start shooting directly at the government buildings. Damn.
Right, right. Damn.
We're not at that point yet.
Well, China.
And they're trying to make more and more guns illegal. So I don't think we're gonna. I don't.
Right.
I don't think we're gonna get to that point.
Oh, that's right. Guns are legal in Canada, right? I didn't know
No,
that.
they're not illegal. They're just
They're
really,
legal.
really controlled. Some
Right.
guns are illegal, and more are prone to be illegal in a short while. Right? All end guns are going to become illegal. Right now, they're already very, very restricted. Like
So
you can't
wait a minute. But
your
you
end
guys are
guns, you can't hunt. Well,
wait, but you guys are a Commonwealth of England, true?
yeah.
So, but you guys, but see, England can't have guns, and you guys can have guns. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, we're part of the Commonwealth, but the Commonwealth is just an economical organization, right? It doesn't have
Okay.
anything to do with laws.
Okay. We got. Hey, Trevor, you can come on now, man. We might as well
Oh
talk about
yeah,
what's fresh.
yeah. I want to try. I want to talk about the Hound session. Right? If
Let's
ever
talk
had something
about
to
it.
say about it, yeah.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, we still got time. So hey, let's jump. Nature Mom's internet was acting up. They're having people over there. Let's discuss it, Trevor. Let's discuss it. Yes, please. Let's discuss the Hound session. Because I mean, I want to make sure I answer your questions correctly, Trevor. Because oh my gosh, it's like I can't really defend something I'm not interested in. I like don't care how the Earth was started and how the planet was formed. I don't care. Like it's like really. So jump on, Trevor. Jump on. But yeah, we've already discussed that, Zanzi. But I mean, if you want to join, talk about it again, I mean, but
Well,
Trevor, do you? Okay, okay. So we haven't Champions Corner right now. What up, Trevor?
yo,
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man?
Can you guys hear me? Because I'm in a different part of
Yes.
my house.
yeah.
Yep.
Can hear you.
Yeah, let's discuss this hound session.
Let's do it.
So, s- I love the fact that that Solar made you defend meat because you were dying a slow death on that.
That's what. Hey, that was actually for you. Yeah, boy, I mean, it's like there's no stats. You know, the way I work, Trevor, is I look for stats. I look for peer reviewed studies. I have access to medical journals and PubMed and all that, and I couldn't find nothing on meats. Oh, especially
So were
red
you
meat. I was like, damn, I couldn't find nothing,
were you
nothing at all.
making were you making that stuff up? Because like even the
No,
pictures
no, no,
that
no,
you were
no, no.
using.
No. All you had to do, those were actually true case studies, but they didn't use red meat. They actually used plants. So that actually was for you, Trevor. That was for you. So all those patients, remember I told you I was going to do that for you? So I just said, damn, I was going to do this for Trevor. Let me just replace everything that said plant-based with meat. And that's why that turned out the way it did. But no, those were real cases with real people, with real doctors. And yeah, that was for you. But like I said, but because Solar wanted me to defend red meat. I just couldn't. So yeah, that was hey, it was a comedy show. It is what it is, man. It was a hound session. I don't know who came up with that idea. Shout out to Solar
Well,
and Angel, but I
I like the fact that they had you
yeah, but
go
don't
against your beliefs,
yeah,
but
but do
that was
something that I can actually work with. I can't work with red meat. I
yeah,
can't.
but then
There's nothing.
think
I
about
get
what
what you're
you
saying,
think
right? And that's
think
why I
about what
came
you
out
just said,
right.
because you said that's a criticism that you have of Domo. You're
Mhm.
saying that he won't debate the Bible. But as a good debater,
No.
you got to be able
I'd
to take
say
any side.
right. I said Domo is not interested in the Bible. Domo, he. I'm gonna tell you something about Domo. Domo doesn't take a side, which is actually a virtue for Domo. But Domo don't like the Bible. Even though he's a Christian, he don't want to touch that stuff. He want to do current affairs. If you go to Domo's show, the Chop It Up show, he don't never touch the Bible. He he does what's in his lane, which is politics, which is local politics, some foreign politics. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I wanted to entangle with Domo on the Ukraine Russia situation. But when it comes to religion, he don't like religion. He's about on the same level as me. He don't now. He might believe in Jesus, be a Christian, but he don't want to go into the Bible and go back and forth with people's beliefs. Like I stood up through the whole sound session talking about people's beliefs. There is no data. There's no peer-reviewed studies on how the earth was formed because nobody was there. So we're just guessing at the end of the day. We're guessing. So if I say,
Wait,
oh,
Excellent.
okay.
There are peer-reviewed papers on the formation of planetary bodies and the Earth.
Oh no,
Uh,
my bad. Zenzi, let me correct that. There's no peer-reviewed study of God forming the planet. I'm sorry. Thank you, Zanzi. Right, because there's plenty of peer-reviewed science information. Yes, Zanzi. Thank you for correcting me on that. When it talks about atoms, but I didn't have time to break that down in time to explain, and I didn't do the research on that because I was doing the research on why red meat is beneficial. How is it beneficial to our health? And there is none. So it's like, yeah, I'm spending all the time with that. I would have spent time if I would have known we were going to go with the atheism being attacked with me not believing. And let me say this too. If a person makes a claim, this was all I was saying, and I don't know why people, but see, this is what religion fanaticism do to people. If a person makes a claim, it is up to them. The burden of proof lies on them, not on the person saying, I don't agree with it. So when I talked about the pink unicorn spitting out $5 bills, that means if I make the claim, right? Unless you see it, Zanzi, the burden of proof is on me. So I can say, well, you know what? If God is real, he will keep this thing levitating. Now I just proved it. And then people say, oh, no, God don't work that way. Now they're making the claim and now they're changing the claim. You see how they can move the goalposts? So no, I don't have time for that. Like, it's like, really? This is what we're doing? And that's why religious baits are just not, they're not productive at all. They're not productive because a person can okay, we got Trevor back on. A person can always move the goalposts with their belief.
yeah. Well, Usually, my opinion on the question of the burden of proof, right? I mean,
Uh-huh.
it all depends on the system you're in, right?
Okay.
Legal systems, sometimes you're guilty until proven innocent, or
Right.
innocent until proven guilty. It changes, right? In France, for
Yeah,
a while,
but
it was innocent. It was guilty until proven innocent,
you're talking about a
and
legal system
yeah,
where
yeah.
people have to have
But when it comes to
motion to
arguing,
discovery.
right, it's the
Right.
same thing. It depends on what we agree upon, right? I tend to think that whoever wants to argue about something, that person has the burden of proof. If the especially if the other party doesn't really want to argue about it, right? But if the other person comes to that person and argue about it, well, yeah, okay. So you want to argue, you have the burden of proof. Prove whatever you're stating, right?
Right. And
Uh,
that's the problem I've always had with religious people. Religious people are the only people who have a problem with me being an atheist. And I move on with my life. Like, I don't believe in what was written in the Bible, and I keep it moving. They be like, wait, Black Son, hold it right there. You mean to tell me you don't believe in God? And they make a whole big thing about it. And it's like, it's at the end of the day, it's your belief. It's your belief. So now there are no peer-reviewed studies, let me say it again, Zanzi, on God making the planet. No. But there are peer-reviewed studies on how carbon dating, electron, neutrons, right. But it would actually take maybe a whole debate to break that down. And then instead of trying to look for the benefits of red meat, I could do the research on that. So it's like, throw a curveball at me, move the goalpost, but it's a hound session though. It's a hound session. So shout out to SVDL, but
You know,
that's hey,
I think the hounds I think the hounds failed in they they didn't attack you right. Just put it that way, because they KOT
well,
asked you, well,
especially your favorite debater saying that being
you oh yeah, I'm going
God.
yeah, I'm going to get there. I'm
Oh,
going to
okay,
get
okay.
there.
Go ahead.
No,
Go
yeah.
ahead. Can you
No, I'm
go?
going to get there, but
I'm about to be on your okay.
KOT asked you how did the earth get here,
Right.
and you were like, through atoms and all that stuff. And then his rebuttal to that was, well, who made the atoms? It's like it's like, and this is my problem with religious people all the
Yeah.
time. And again, I used to be one of them for over 20 years.
Right.
It's like nothing could exist outside of God. It's like, oh, how did this get here? I don't really have an answer, so fuck it, God. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's their answer to everything. So you're asking them legit questions, and they're like, oh well, but the Bible says this. The Bible, and Atmalak, he still got to explain, because I was on a panel with him and Battle Axe, and they told me that Jesus was here on Earth right now. So they're gonna have to explain that one to me.
But see,
You know,
Trevor,
it's like
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. You on
it,
the
it,
roll. Go
it
ahead.
it's like these people, like that religion shit, man, is keeping us so dead and blind. And KOT, I messaged KOT, and I'm like, hey man, you don't have any proof basically for what you're saying.
Right.
You can't just say that is God and not have no source. So he told me he got sources. So I'm assuming you and him going to debate it, because he's going to have to show me proof of all this stuff that they say. Now, as far as Holly throwing the whole what does she say, that red beans are
Beans
meat?
are meat. Beans are
I
meat.
I I get where I see. I know what she's saying, because in school
No,
they
no,
taught us that
no.
beans were part of the meat group, but
But that's what she's
it's
saying, right? That beans are part of
yeah,
the meat group. But the thing is, it's not called the meat group. It's called the
yeah,
protein food
the,
group, and
yeah,
meat is part
exactly,
of the group, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right, because
Exactly. So
beans are
she
my
so
oh.
she tried to throw a fast one in on you. That's all.
You can't throw it now. You can Jesus me and God and lie me to death, but when it comes to nutrition, oh, it ain't happening. That's why I'm glad she came on. She's like, "Well, this is the thing about a vegan." I said, "Bing, bing." Now we're cooking because I feel like a dog chasing his tail with the whole religion thing. Like, oh God, and who created the earth? I'm like, dude, whatever I say, you believe God created the earth. So it's like you're giving me more gray hairs. But when it comes to nutrition, that's why I was trying to keep Holly on. And Holly wanted to get off because I think she realized what she did. She's like, "Ooh, I put my foot in my mouth. Let me back up." No, no, Holly, come on, baby, come on. I'm intrigued. That's what I told. Isn't that what I said, Trevor? I said I am
Yes.
intrigued. Like what? I was like, now I'm in my goddamn pilot seat because y'all took me way out with this whole God thing and who created the earth. Y'all took me way left there, but now whenever you're back on nutrition, oh, Holly,
But and I think
oh
the
man,
way that they doubled down and tripled down on the being things, even though
yeah,
they were wrong, and I'm sure they know they were wrong. Right? The thing is, and I think that's the main difference, the key difference between science and religion, right? Because right, you stop at the atom, right, in your
yes,
explanation.
right,
But when you ask, okay, so what creates atoms? What are atoms made of? Well, there's an answer to that. It's quarks, right?
okay,
And quarks are basically condensed energy. And if you ask where the energy comes from, then the answer, scientific consensus, is the Big Bang, right? And
right,
if he asks you what were before the Big Bang or whatever, well, that's where it becomes interesting, right? Because science will answer you in two ways that question. One way is it doesn't matter. Then the other way is we don't know, and we most likely can't know, right? And that's the important difference between science and religion, right? The
right.
ability to say we don't know, right? To
And that's all I
say
was saying. Yeah, I don't
that's the
know. That's
question we're asking ourselves, and we're trying to figure out a way to answer that question. But
right.
as of now, we don't know.
But what
And
I do know
it's
is that beans aren't a meat group. I do know that, but go ahead.
but
I do
they
know
tend to
that.
think that you not knowing and admitting that you don't know, this this value everything that
Right. That's the
you
strategy.
tried
Right.
to know,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. Right.
And also, science doesn't pretend to have absolute knowledge on anything, so what's true now might not be true in 20 years, as
Well,
what
Wednesday,
was true in 40 years ago is not true anymore now in some fields, right?
based on last year and the year before that, the hound sessions, once you couldn't answer something, they clowned you and they moved on. They
Mhm.
clowned me and kept on with the same shit they were clowning. And I'm like, dude, okay, y'all clown me, y'all got me, and y'all still on it. I'm like, I didn't know. Okay, y'all got me. They got me, and then we're still on the topic though. How are we still on the
you
topic?
know,
If I say, okay, I wait a minute, y'all got me. Okay, cool, y'all got me. No, but we're still on it, and I'm like, damn, okay, what part of the game is this? If I throw up the red flag,
Zanzi, Zanzi, you said something real good there. You know, you said like science, if you keep asking them questions, eventually they'll say they don't know. The problem with religious people is instead of admitting that they don't know something, it's oh God, oh because God did it.
right,
It's that's always the answer. And I agree with you because if you look at previous hound sessions, they would just they would bombard you with a bunch of questions, but it
right,
almost seemed like they had an agenda, almost like, oh, he says he's an atheist, so we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty of why he's an atheist. Let's keep asking him these ridiculous ass questions that we don't even know the answer to. Because if your answer to everything is always oh God, or because the Bible says, well, what can I put the Bible against to prove the Bible? Not a
right.
damn thing.
That's
You can't
right.
prove it outside of itself. So if I don't believe what's written in there, why should I believe all the crap that you're saying?
And Trevor, I tried to give them an outlet, and I said, well, atheists, we also don't believe in theocracy. I tried to throw that out there, and they didn't care. No, God, 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 who made the world? And I'm like, dude, a theocracy would be good for you, Akbalak, since you want to righteously rule and all that, because the Hebrews are like they don't even know they're pushing a theocracy. So I was like, well, let's tackle that. But no, they don't want to deal with that. They want to deal with black sun, who created the world and who God. And I'm just like, dude, okay, y'all got me on that. Okay, got me because I don't care. I don't care. That's something I thought about as a child, and then I moved on. I deal with more modern things and future things to come. So if we want to discuss, and that's why I like Domo because he deals with politics. No matter what you say, his debate skills, Trevor, Domo don't care about debating the Bible. It is what it is. Now, Domo, if you're listening to the show, come on and tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying, Domo. And that's why me, Domo, and Yanga, we Yanga wants a piece of Domo, and I want to deal with Domo. I want to dance with Domo. So because Domo deals with politics, whether I like Domo or not, whether he likes me or not, we are on the same plane when it comes to what we want to debate. That's what I will give Domo that. I will give Domo that. He is not interested in no Bibles. He's not interested where there's slaves in Egypt and Kemetic. This he don't care about that stuff. And that's why my eyes were set on Domo. And I was like, oh, he don't like this Bible stuff. He's really. Then I went to go check out the Chop It Up show. Oh, he's dealing with Ukraine and politics and the Republicans and the Democrats and local politics. Oh yeah, that's the guy. But because most Northern Californians are into politics like that, they're into local politics and all that stuff. They're really into that stuff because they're up there with Berkeley. So yeah, shout out to Domo. But
You
Domo's not
know,
going to debate no Bibles. He's not going to do it. He's not an Anon. Anon debates the Bible, but Anon is not going to really touch politics. That's his lane. That is not Domo's lane. It is not my lane. It is not Yanga's lane. And Yanga is a Muslim.
you know why, like why I said I was so glad that you're back in the league, because
Appreciate you,
you're
brother.
gonna you're gonna force them to have to defend this stuff. See, in the past, they always debate other believers, so they'd
Right.
be they'd be basically debating the same thing. So what would the most common debate that's going on YouTube now
Uh-huh.
within the religious community is Jesus the Son of God only, or is he God? And at the end of the day, they're all saying the same thing, just in different ways.
Different
With
ways,
you
right.
being in the league now, you're saying, hey, put all the belief shit to the side and debate me on the facts with sources. And that's why I think, regardless of what anybody thinks about you, because even when you saw the chat, you saw a couple of people like, oh, and you could tell they were just saying that because they were fed information about you. You
Of
could just,
course. Of course.
let's just call it what it is. And so you can see that they were acting that way. But you're gonna bring something to the league that's absolutely needed. You're gonna make people stand on their shit. No longer can they just say this is what it is, and because this scripture said it. You got to bring some type of facts, man. This is
Right.
2022. Don't nobody care about that anymore. We need to
Right.
know what's going to make it. We need to know what's going to make us better. And obviously, this shit hasn't worked.
Right.
Everything that they're saying has not worked. It just hasn't. So we
That's
need
right.
to do things. We need to do things a better way now. So I'm excited, man. And what I'm hoping is, now that you're in the league, it'll get a KOT to come over on this panel, because I want
I
to
agree.
ask him some questions. Because
I
when
agree.
he does his lives, he does them at like a early morning, so you can never get
Yeah.
on. But I want to ask him some questions, man, because some of the stuff that he says, I need him to prove it outside of the Bible. That's what I need him to
Right.
do.
Right.
You
Right.
got to be able to. You can't just say, oh, because how do you know we're Hebrews? Oh, because of Deuteronomy what
Right.
28. Oh,
Right.
because of the curses. They always identifying themselves by the damn curses. Well, what about the blessings? And how ridiculous is that black people are so brainwashed that they identify themselves by friggin' curses in a book
Well,
that somebody clearly wrote,
the issue is,
versus
sin-
the blessings. Like, come on, man.
so I'm not sure what you're talking about here, because I'm not as familiar as the Bible as as you are. But it sounds to me like this thing, right, about how the Church of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, right? They believe that Native Americans got their darker skins because they've been cursed, right? They're descendant of the tribe of Joseph that came to America, and they've been cursed by God with darker skin. So is that part of the Bible, that what black people are one of the tribe of the Israelites that have been cursed
So
somehow too? Or
the biblical narrative is that Noah's three sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth,
That's right.
are who everybody came from.
Right.
Um, so who do they call it? We're from Ham, I think. I forget which one, but that's where they say that. So basically, they're saying all the races on Earth came from Noah's three sons. So now here's a crazy question. So you mean to tell me that Noah had three different races of sons?
You know,
I mean, has anybody ever just stopped and said, "Hey, man, that doesn't make any sense"? And that's all the debating that you hear around YouTube is who's the Shemites, who's the Hamites, are black people the real Jews? Does it really matter? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing to make your communities better now? Like, for real. Like, why are we so behind everybody? It's because we keep, quite frankly, because we keep believing in this book and believing that somebody's coming to save us, and we won't save our own damn self.
Right, right, right. And it keeps us, and that's why at the beginning I had talked about how other nations are making nuclear bombs, and that's in the world, Trevor. But there's an arms race, and black people are nowhere in that arms race. Not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that when you have the scientists, and Solar was wrong to say, oh, them people, but no, they don't. Them people, no, we got when we won World War II, we took Hitler's Nazi physicians. And we made helicopters, we made nuclear bombs, we made missiles, and we took advantage. We took advantage, and we scared all of them at the Nuremberg trials that, we can either face death or you can come work for us.
Was it
Well,
called Operation Paperclip, where they snatch all the freaking Nazi scientists and right? So
Yeah, it was Operation Paperclip
yeah,
when they
yes,
were
so
making the during the Manhattan Project.
yes,
so when it comes to nationalism, right? It doesn't matter the horrible things. There's this YouTuber called Jason Steele, right? Film Cow, right? And he's got this series of absurd talk show, right? But one part of this talk show is right, story time with Renlo, right? Some kind of satanic goat that tells spooky stories full of spooks, right? And it's basically just a documentary series about whatever the fuck the CIA has been doing all over the world, right? The horrible things they've been doing, right? All the crimes, all the genocide, all the murder, and it's it's incredible to think that we allow it, right? It's incredible to think that. Yeah.
well, and that could be a whole nother debate. I'm debating blue. Y'all know I'm gonna be debating blue. And I still want that goddamn Hitler Stalin debate because yeah, I think that'll still be interesting. But you know, and it doesn't have to be that. But I mean, I'm wondering how
What's
ah
your position on Hitler? What's your position on Hitler Stalin?
my position is that they were both horrible, but it was about who's going to be friends with America. That's what it comes. I'm giving away my debate. How am I gonna give it away? If we would have been allies, if we would have chose Hitler over Stalin, Stalin would have been the monster, and he killed way more people. That's my take on it. But because Hitler guillotined more people, then he was the monster. I didn't know Hitler guillotined more people than the goddamn French Revolution. So
Can
that's,
they all be monsters?
I mean, they can all be monsters, but in comparison, it's like, okay, well, who was feared more? Stalin
Who
was
was going to take that debate?
Oh, it was going to be blue, but then blue changed his mind.
Oh,
Then yeah, blue,
jeez.
yeah, blue was going to take it, but then blue was like, and this blue wasn't feeling it the last minute. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I get it, man. It's really not a popular topic. It's real gory. It'll have people looking at you sideways. But I mean, just like with you, Trevor, you said, and you're going to inspire me because you said you're going to interview. Tell people about your show because now you've inspired me. I'm gonna get I want to get a skinhead on the show and tell you where. No, you're laughing, but a lot of people don't know where this gangsterism comes from. It comes from the skinheads. It don't come from black people, Latinos, Asians. It comes from the white men. It comes from the skinheads. The skinheads started in World War II as gangs. and I was going to bring the skinhead over to tell it.
Yeah, well, so I have a because my connection is really bad. I guess it's the weather
Okay.
outside, but
Okay.
I'm about to hop off real quick. But yeah, I do have a show, Straight Talk with Trevor. It's a podcast, and every now and then I'll upload the podcast on the YouTube in video format. I just did a show a couple of days ago. I haven't done loaded it to YouTube yet, where I had my guests go back and watch the 1960s episode of The Twilight Zone. The monsters are due on Maple Street. The Twilight Zone is my favorite series ever, and so I wanted him to see it because at the end, the big reveal at the end of the show shows that the aliens were really creating scenarios that cause the humans to react in certain ways where they
Right.
would turn on one another. So the name of that show is called Modern Day Monsters. And you can find that on any podcast platform. You just type in Straight Talk with Trevor. So what I did, I paralleled it to what's going on today, and then we ended up getting into talks about slavery and racism, and it's just a good time, man. My show, I could talk about anything. I got a transgender person coming on that's transitioning into a woman, and we're gonna have that conversation. So yeah, I talk about anything. So yeah, you bringing on a skinhead, that's no issue. I mean, just as long as you don't, just as long as you put it to them,
As
you don't
long as
really
I
let
don't,
them,
oh,
yeah,
as
you
long as
don't
I
let
don't
them
turn
take.
into wild son, why
Yeah,
not?
yeah, yeah. Don't make me sit there and be like, wait a minute, is Black Son agreeing with this clown? Like, you know what I'm saying? No, you gotta put it to him.
Well, and I don't want to give it all away, but he just says all these gangs retaliation, and I got sources to back it up from some OGs that say, yeah, they formed it to fight against white people. And the skinheads, and then it's just basically lining up with OGs has been saying all along that the gangs, most of your Crips, most of your goddamn gangsters, all these the older your Slawsons, your Warlocks, all of them, they were formed to defend themselves against skinheads. The skinheads are the oldest gang in the United States.
Right. Okay. Because right. So I'm no expert, right? But
Okay.
when I think about the oldest gangs, what
Right.
comes to mind is like the movie Gangs of New York, right?
That's right. Right. Good point.
So
Right.
those guys were like white supremacists fighting against other white people, but that
Right.
weren't considered white people at that time, right? So it
Well,
would
at that
make
time,
sense that
they didn't consider Italians and Irish to be
Italians,
white.
Irish people. That
Right,
guy, Amsterdam, his name was. He was from Holland. He wasn't
right,
considered white, or barely, from what I understand.
right.
So,
So even among right, right. So that's a good point, Sensi, because even amongst the white groups in the gangs of New York, they were fighting against each other. And so what I'm saying is that well, what the guests will say, and I'm going to give a little bit, is that yeah, then all these people talk about the first gangs and this and that, blah blah blah. It started because they were fighting against the skinheads. And so yeah, I'm gonna bring one of the OG skinheads on here to tell his side, and I'm gonna line it up with what a lot of the OGs say. That's all. So
Hmm.
yeah, oh no, I'm not no damn skinheads. I'm just saying it's funny how people will say, "Oh, my family did this and that. My family are gangsters, and my family." But then when I talk, when I say I went in the mosh pit with skinheads, oh my God, listen to Black Sun. Don't you know our people died from people with swastikas? Yeah, and so what's it? Wait. It's okay for black people to kill black people. But when I talk about skinheads, it's not okay. But then your family is so gangster, and you bang bang shoot them up, and your dad did this, and your cousins did that, and they were part of this and that, and sister know what I'm talking about. But the minute I say I was in a mosh pit, meaning I have no fear, meaning I'm ready at this concert, anything can go down. That's all I was saying. Is just if I don't have no fear of that, I don't have no fear of your make believe dolls. That's all I was saying. But of course, the M took it way out of context and
Black
made
Son,
it.
you go. you're
I
going
know.
you're gonna have a video made on this
I
stream
know.
in a couple of hours now. Cut it out.
I'm gonna have a video anyway because Noble was on here.
Hey,
So yeah,
Cut
all
it out.
publicity is good publicity, ain't it?
I
Oh
got you, Trevor. I
man.
got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Right. I got you. I got
I'm a step down because I'm tired
you.
of
Okay.
I'm tired of being insulted in those videos for something I ain't got nothing to do
Okay.
with. But
You know what? My bad. I
anyway,
didn't mean to bring that up. But hey,
it
Trevor,
don't
man.
matter.
Hey, I
But
wanted to.
I'll get up with you Tuesday when
Yeah.
hopefully my connection is better.
Okay, Champion Circle, y'all. On Tuesday, we're gonna have Trevor Yanga. If you're listening to the show, we want you on that show too because we got
Hey, get Holly and KOT also. They're gonna have to defend some of this stuff.
Holly, especially Holly. Oh, I was what? Beans or meat? Holly,
Yeah,
Holly,
make them come defend some of this stuff.
Holly. Well, again, I have no problem with KLT's belief. I have no problem with it. Just don't push it on me. I don't see people think when I say atheist that I'm against, I'm trying to take their religion away. No, I'm just saying me growing up, and you notice, Trevor, the hang up, just like that house session, was people were fascinated by my atheism and hound me. That was nothing new. And it's like, dude, you guys are asking me something that I don't care about. Like I pondered on how was the earth made at 5 years old? And then I left it alone. Once I watched the Carl Sagans, the Neil deGrasse Tysons, which actually was Carl Sagan before deGrasse Tyson. But what I'm saying is that when, as a child, I learned about the atoms, neutrons, electrons, and all that. It's a big breakdown, like Zanzi was saying. It's a big breakdown, and I didn't have time for that. If you give me time for it, I can talk about it, but it might put everybody to sleep. I just keep it real. It's not as entertaining as man, so we got you. You said first you said you didn't know, and now you say no. I get it. It's a comedy show. It's all good. But if I come on there with some real science, then everybody's gonna say, "Oh, Black Sun, oh, it was so boring. Oh, it was so boring." And I don't want to be known as the boring. I want to be known as the guy that brings excitement. Yes, it was exciting, and yeah, y'all got me. Oh, Black Sun didn't know how the Earth was made. Okay, can we move on to the next question, which y'all didn't do? Y'all were stuck on it and stuck on it and stuck on it and stuck on it and kept drilling me with the same question. And it's like last and for this last house sessions weren't like that. They clowned you and kept it moving with other questions. And I try to throw out the theocracy, and Akmalak didn't bite. Well, look at that. He didn't bite on the theocracy. But anywho, Trevor, I'm not gonna hold you up. I'm not gonna hold you up. We're past the hour. Man, thank y'all for coming on. Trevor, Zanzi. Hey, shout out to Nature Mom. We're gonna come back on when she gets her computer. They're doing FIFA over there in the Qatar. Shout out to Sister Noble. Shout out to the chat. Everybody in the chat. Shout out to y'all, man. Again,
Peace.
man. Hey, peace,
Been a
Trevor.
pleasure.
All
Peace.
right. Peace out, y'all. All right, Zanzi. I just thought about it, Zanzi. They
Oh,
were
so
kind of on the same question.
you're chopping up a bit again,